You know, the way that I think about diversity and inclusion as it relates to our work in United Way is that's how we define ourselves. And so it's diversity and inclusion isn't a department and it's not a thing you do. It's the definition of how we do our work.
Vital human services and education and health and financial stability. If we're serious about doing that, then that means we need to engage the whole community.
The value of diversity and inclusion is pretty straightforward. And maybe actually in this case, it took corporate America to really sort of lead the way for us, maybe even more so than before nonprofits and the government. It's just the right thing to do. There's a business case for it.
We're going to succeed as local communities, as a national community, and as a global community if we truly are communities that are totally inclusive. As leaders, you and we have to see our commitment and the time and energy we put into diversity and inclusion the same way you think about your campaign, the same way you think about your community impact strategies. If we don't weave this strategy and your personal leadership commitment to it into an annual campaign, it won't happen.
We try to make sure that we build in enough accountability and enough reporting and enough intentionality that we don't lose sight of what we're doing.
As boards and as CEOs, we build it into our performance metrics.
We develop a diversity plan every year that goes to the board of directors. It has targets in it. It has a whole program of activities.
If we do that, then it sends a very clear message that, one, this is important. It's got to get integrated into everything we do, and it'll drive performance.
I consider us kind of community trustee. We're supposed to know what the needs of the community. How can we possibly do that unless we have all of those perspectives in the room, sharing?
If we model it, if we, as an institution, truly model diversity and inclusion, it affects the community.
The fundraising part of our business at United Way, many times we segment. We'll have a women's leadership effort around fundraising. Sometimes we'll have one, as we do here at the United Way, an African American perspective, a key club. When you think about advancing the common good, you are really trying to make sure that every man, woman, and child in your community has the opportunity to live. We're in our second year of our Pride Leadership, which again is a leadership development program specifically for individuals from the LGBT community.
Over the past couple of years, especially, companies are becoming more and more aware and starting organizations within their companies. This is the perfect fit to allow our community to be involved in these different agencies, to bring our perspective, to let everybody understand what's important to us. And in some cases, we're very similar. And I think that's part of the aha for a lot of individuals. It's like, wow, you hear their life experiences and they're not that different from mine.
The work is never done, and you can never rest on your laurels. Just because more than 2 decades ago we started our diversity efforts doesn't mean we're done.
I think too many times we try to have a very narrow definition of what diversity is. And it will change as community changes.
If we're going to advance the common good in terms of educating all of our children, it's going to take everybody. We've proven that you can't do it just as a school system and just as a group of parents. So through inclusion and making sure that all resources, all ideas, all voices come to that table is how we're going to advance the common good in communities.